From a trade perspective, the South African farming sector has had a positive start to 2026. Their exports for the first quarter of 2026 totaled 3.7 billion US dollars. That is up 11% from the same period last year, and it's a result of better volumes and favorable prices in some of the products that we exported. We exported a range of products, various fruits such as apples, pears, cherries, berries, nuts, and also wine, wool, grain, meat. So it's a whole range of products that are in that food basket that South Africa was able to send to the world market. And I think that had we not experienced some logistical difficulties, for example, in the Port of Cape Town, and those logistics coincided with the time where we were at the peak of the export of table grapes, perhaps maybe we would have seen even a slightly better value of the exports than what we are registering now. But be that as it may, there's a lot of work that the industry, along with Transnet and various stakeholders, were able to sit down and make sure that they push through, and we're able to register and see these excellent exports that we are seeing at the moment. If you think about the markets at which we're sending to, the African continent remains very important in our agricultural trade activity. Almost half of our exports went to the African continent. You have roughly 25% or so to the EU, and of course, Asia, Middle East, and the Americas are some of the markets that are very important for South Africa. On imports, we continue to import, although the imports have come down recently. And if you look at what is it that we buy from the world market, it's still wheat, rice, a bit of poultry, palm oil, and some whiskies. Those are the products that South Africa generally imports. And of course, in some of these, we don't have a favorable environment to be able to produce in our local side. But overall, if you look at the trade balance, we remain with a healthy trade surplus, which is over $1 billion in the first quarter of this year. And I think that throughout 2026, although there's a range of difficulties that some industries are experiencing, such as these recent floods that affected parts of the Eastern Cape and Western Cape, as well as a foot and mouth disease. But I think South Africa will remain solid on the export front. Remember, the healthy exports in the first quarter of this year is not just a story of base effect. 2025 was on itself an excellent year, where for the whole year, our export had reached a record 15.1 billion US dollars. So we're continuing in that momentum. This is on the back of healthy production conditions domestically, and as well as the environment of export diversification and many efforts by the private sector, business, and other stakeholders that are making sure that on the export front, we remain there as South Africa, and we're reaping and seeing the benefits of all of that work of many people that are involved in the industry.